What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. So I want to talk about the Ancestry DNA commercial controversy and also Jordyn Woods, if she's black or not. So I'm going to talk about Ancestry DNA first. So, this is going to be like a two-in-one video. Alright, so some people, some black people, are upset over Ancestry DNA's commercial where it was like a black woman. It took place during the slavery era. I'm not sure exactly when, but during slavery, right? So it's like a black woman and a white man, and they're talking about, running up to the north so that they can, get married and, you know, fulfill their romantic fantasies and live happily ever after. Blah, 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 right? Romanticizing slavery, right? And some folks got upset about it because, they're like, hey, slavery's not romantic. It was brutal. I shouldn't be laughing at that. But I'm laughing at how I'm saying it. Of course, not about slavery being brutal. Because, again, that is a reality. That was a reality for a lot of different people in the Americas where, slavery was not something that was a positive experience overall. And I'm pretty sure for 99.9% of them, it probably was not a positive experience. So some folks were upset about that, understandably so. I feel like Ancestry DNA could have probably did something better than that. I feel like they may have just been coming from a place or a point of view where it's like, oh, let's try to do something historically accurate or historically believable, right? Um, as well, perhaps maybe they feel like this commercial could be appealing to some people. Who did they pass this commercial by? What focus group are meeting a group of investors or whatever? Who did they pass this by before they put this commercial out here? I'm just saying. I was thinking maybe they could have did something sort of like, oh, maybe had it, had this commercial take place during, say, before the passing of Loving versus Virginia, right? Maybe maybe not during the slave era, but maybe during perhaps maybe like the civil rights or Jim Crow era. Maybe the civil rights era, perhaps. But maybe they think it's not far back enough, right? Because they want more history associated with it, right? Or they could have just made something that was just not having to deal with history if they just wanted to promote some type of a swirl agenda. They could have just had a commercial where, a black woman and a white man are just researching their family history, Oddly enough, when I went, I wound up going to this meeting or this group, this meeting, this event or whatever for, that was geared towards black people trying to, research their genealogy, right? And it took place at like the local community center, you know. And when I went there, it was like a whole bunch of black people, of course. But the guy who was doing the event and hosting the event and instructing people on how to do this and that, he actually was a white, which was like, oh, that's a little different. And he was white. He has a black wife and a mixed race biracial son. So, both of them have researched their family histories. And I say all that to say, well, they could have did a commercial like that. As I just mentioned, that is a real thing, right? Of course, the slave narrative could possibly have been a real thing too. But again, I just gave you a real scenario here of, a white man and a black woman doing family research and genealogy and all that stuff. in real life, I'm just saying, right? It does exist, right? Um, but yeah, some black folks was upset about that, and then some were not upset. Particularly some black women were not upset or just like whatever. And honestly, I kind of feel like when it comes to the black women, they just need to let the black men handle this in this case. If black men are upset, okay, let them be upset and handle it. But black women, they always got to jump in it and jump in the mix for some reason, right? I don't know what's up with that. But that happens, right? And then some black women came through saying that, well, if this was a white woman and a black man, then folks wouldn't be nearly as upset, especially black men, which I kind of feel probably is true. Black men would just be like, whatever, or that's what's up, or, whatever, you know. And that relationship could have been coercion, as far as we know. We don't know that because were incidences of that, but for black men, that's a turn on to be coerced by a white woman into sexual activity. So they're not going to, black men ain't going to be complaining about that, you know, during slavery. Again, he could have been, whipped to death, lynched to death, castrated, put his penis in his mouth after they castrated him. This, that, and the third. But, as long as he gets the chance to fulfill his Snow White, his slave Becky fantasies, it's all good. All right. But black women are always piping up saying what they don't like, and they showing that they don't like the commercial, which I'm like, okay, that's fine not to like the commercial, but I'm just saying maybe you should just let black men lead that charge and defend their women. But black women ain't gonna have that. Nah, because these black women, that's how they get their validation from doing shit like this, right? Mammying out, just mammying all over the place like this, and then it's all good now, but when it becomes emasculating, then these same dudes are throwing it in your face that you're emasculating them, and that's why they don't want to deal with you. Yeah. And disclaimer, I should have given this disclaimer at the beginning, but disclaimer, I'm going to keep it 100. I have gotten my Ancestry DNA test from AncestryDNA.com, all right, Ancestry.com, from this company, all right, way before this commercial took place, by the way, all right. So yes, and I also did one with like 23andMe too, all right. So just putting it out there, right. So is Ancestry DNA canceled? Are we gonna be all about 23andMe now? What's up? What are we gonna be doing, black people? Just wanting to know. All right. Next subject. Jordyn Woods, black or not? All right. So Jordyn Woods, she got attacked because she was with Tristan Thompson or whatever the fuck, and folks was coming at her because she was caught kissing him. But first of all, I kind of think she should be smart enough not to get mixed up in some bullshit like that anyway. Just in general, as just a person. Why would you want to be mixed up in that fuck shit anyway, right? But, again, Jordyn Woods has been attacked. Light-skinned, possibly biracial. Folks saying she's biracial. Folks saying that she's light-skinned. Folks saying that her mama white. Folks saying that her mom's white passing. I don't know. All right. Light-skinned, biracial. All right. So she got caught up in some fuck shit. And it's partially her fault. All right. I'm not going to put all the blame on her, but she needs to take some responsibility and culpability for the part that she played in it. All right. And Chloe needs to just fall back and shut up because Chloe been getting cheated on, stealing folks, men. It's just shut up, Chloe. And then the whole Tristan Thompson, like, mm, again, Tristan Thompson, we already know he a weak ass nigga for having a baby with Khloe Kardashian. We already know that. All right, he a weak ass nigga, and then didn't he like leave his wife or probably baby mama, who was black? Again, I don't know the skin tone about her skin tone or whatever, but I heard she was black. Um, and he left her for Khloe Kardashian, probably because she has more clout and probably could get him some more opportunities or something, right? And just probably some more fame, right? Again, again, like I said, weak ass niggas, right? You know. So during all this, Jordyn Woods said something to the effect of, for the first time in my life, I know what it's like to be a black woman. And some black women kind of sort of gave a side eye with that. As well, they should. One, because it does send the message that, first of all, you're kind of equating blackness to struggle. Like, and that does happen a lot where people do equate being black with being in like some sort of a struggle or some sort of a negative situation. You notice that, right? Like, oh, that's the first time she knew what it like felt what it was like to be a black woman. Honestly, I kind of feel like maybe she should have said something to the effect of, oh, this is the first time in my life where I felt, you know, the negative backlash of being black or something like that. If she just had to say something, or like, this is the first time in my life I really felt like intense anti-blackness directed towards me, you know, because those kind of send the message more so like, oh, you're just experiencing the negativity of blackness versus just experiencing blackness for the first time, just in general, right? But if that's her feelings, then those are her feelings, and those are her feelings, right? So at least she was being honest about her feelings and her experience. Um, and black women are like, is she black or nah? Right? And you know, I think black women can decide whether they should advocate for her or not. They probably are, partially because they feel like Jordyn Woods is sort of like being used as a proxy for black women, which she could be, which she could not be, you know. But they feel like they are obligated to defend her to an extent, kind of like Barack Obama, right? When Barack Obama was president, people kind of felt like, oh, Barack Obama was being used as a proxy for black men and just black people in general. And I feel like there is a lot of truth in that. I think that was at play, at least partly at play, when it came to criticisms of Barack Obama. You know, so I can understand more so in a situation with like that, right? In this situation, not as much, but okay, they feeling like Jordyn is being targeted because she's a black woman, which could be true, which could have some truth in it. These Kardashians use black people as props and breeders and all types of stuff, really. Honestly, it's kind of like the movie Get Out. They should do like a parody of that with like the Kardashians and how they kind of lure black people, especially black men, into their uh, the castle, dungeon, whatever you want to. They're like a situation. Um, but yeah, Jordyn Woods, in my personal opinion, I don't know if I really feel Jordyn Woods' blackness. I think she's, mixed. I could feel her mixedness, right? I'm not sure if I really feel her blackness, though. But I don't really know that much about Jordyn, though. So I don't know. She could be black. She could not be black. But something else that needs to be brought up. If Jordyn Woods was in a black situation, right? And if she married, say, Tyrese how would black women react to her then? Would they be on her side, advocating for her, or would they feel like, oh, another light bright, you know, took one of their prospects, right? Um, so it's kind of strange how like people's situations are subject to change depending on the environment and situation that they're in. Like how people are viewed and their identities, right, and their claim to blackness and all that good stuff. It's sort of subjective and dependent upon the situation and the environment, right? You know, and I don't knock her for, hanging out with Kylie and trying to get some clout. I don't really knock her for that. Because I know, she's trying to, make some ways for herself, although I don't even think they have like a really good friendship. I ran across this video and it was like somebody kind of interpreting their body language with each other, and it doesn't even seem like they're really like that good of friends when you start interpreting their body language and their behavior towards each other. So again, Jordyn probably is using Kylie for clout, and Kylie is probably using Jordyn for like black girl ideas to steal from, right? Because let's be real. Let's just be real. Like when white women try to be creative, you get Miley Cyrus. When black women try to be creative, you get Rihanna, right? Think about it. But I'm going to bring this video to a close. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment. Feel free to subscribe. Oh, scratch that. Don't feel free to subscribe. Feel free to comment, though. Thanks a lot. Until the next video, adios and goodbye for now.